activity as it relates to health. We certainly see Oscar Pistorius here, who is very visible throughout the Olympics and will be competing here in the Paralympics as well. But it's changed the outlook, and that's exactly what we're looking at with these openings, which sets the tone for the games that we'll see coming behind. You get an introduction to some of the sports as well. Wheelchair racing here.
I'm keeping an eye out for some pictures of you.
I don't think I'm in there yet. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm keeping a close watch. Of course, your last games, at least as a track athlete,
was in Athens in
2004.
Right, exactly, in 2004. And it was really interesting, I think, for me, the circular nature of that, where Athens, which is where the Olympics started. The whole idea of the Olympics, and now this is where the Paralympics started, was here in England. And Paralympics, not meaning almost Olympics, but meaning parallel to the Olympics, which I think is really important.
Please welcome the athletes of the London 2012 Paralympic Games.
Well, here we go. We were just talking about how many athletes there are. 4,200. This is always the long bit, isn't it? Getting everyone in the stadium takes some time to go through all the countries, more than 160 countries competing.
It's the most exciting period of time, though, as well. As an athlete, you're sitting there outside waiting. You queue up with your team, and here's Afghanistan coming in here.
Afghanistan's flag bearer is Mohammed Fahim Rahimi. He's a powerlifter. And tell us, I mean, from an athlete's perspective, I know that it's not always possible to go to every opening ceremony because often you've got sporting commitments the next morning. But your last experience, tell us about that. What was it like walking into or being in the stadium, entering the stadium?
The stadium, it's funny as an athlete because we often compete in complete obscurity. You'll be at a big event and there's some of the best athletes in the world will be there and you won't have much of a crowd. You come to the Paralympics and it's when you have a crowd. And you notice it even more at the opening ceremonies where there's 62,000 people here. There's an energy, an electricity that you never feel.
Nadia Medj is from track and field athletics. She's the flag bearer for Algeria.
And the thing for the athletes is this is really an indication of how important an event it is that so many people are coming to the opening ceremonies. You feel like they're literally reaching out and touching you as you're coming through, which then as an athlete you want to perform at your best for them and hopefully even better than you might have imagined.
Look, I'm just so excited to see the crowds here this time. I can't wait to see what the atmosphere is like because I just remember Beijing just embraced the Paralympics and all the athletes we spoke to were like, wow, we've never had it this good. This is amazing, the support we're getting. But I don't know, I think London might even top that.
It's really funny when you see Andorra coming in here, which is another of the amazing countries that are going to be performing for gold. But you look at the sense that after going to Beijing, so many people said that it can never ever be topped just because there were so many people and there was so much that went into it. But London, which is following on the heels of Beijing as the following Summer Games, said we're going to make sure that this is the best Paralympic Games ever. And I think one of the indications is that there are 100,000 tickets left.
Yeah,
all the rest of the tickets have been sold. It's absolutely amazing.
Many venues you can't get into anymore.
No.
So the track cycling, that's sold out every day of competition. 6,000 people will be in the stands at that beautiful velodrome over the next few days.
What is it? It's 4.5 million out of 4.6 million that have been sold, I believe.
Wow.
At this
and they
point.
sold really quickly too, didn't they? I mean, as soon as they went on sale, there was a frenzied buy-up of tickets.
People don't want to miss it.
Yeah.
They really don't.
Antigua and Barbuda.
Jamoy Alam Pilgrim from athletics is the flag bearer. You can see on your screens there.
And the thing is, you wear your country's uniform when you're competing, but you wear your country's uniform as well as you're coming in here. So all of these athletes will have been given this uniform, this parade outfit, which hopefully you get a chance to wear that parade outfit again because that's what you wear when you get a medal.
Right. Because that suit that just went past was looking pretty sharp.
That looks very sharp. That looked great. That looked great with a medal on it. Argentina has a big contingent of people here.
Guillermo Maro, the swimmer, is the flag bearer for Argentina. Well, certainly they're getting the points for enthusiasm at this early stage, but we'll see who can top them. But
It is,
yeah,
and-
look, like you said, I mean, very large team there, and cheers, they're here to have a great time. They're so happy. Fantastic.
And you see so many of them documenting it for the rest of their lives, really. This is the kind of thing that it is one of the pinnacles of certainly of your sporting life, where you are able to you want to put this down for the rest of your life and really look at that and be able to say that's something I did.
Armenia.
The athletes work a long time just to get to this point. Argentina had 110 athletes. Armenia actually has 4 athletes. So you'll see some diversity as far as the size of the size of the contingent that the country is bringing.
Absolutely.
The Chinese will be the biggest again, but we've seen a distinct difference and a cultural difference. Here's Australia, which has a big
special
contingent.
cheer.
You might know a couple of these guys.
I certainly do. And Greg Smith, our wheelchair rugby star, and who's had a very long and illustrious career.
And
as a
a former
Paralympian.
wheelchair racer as well.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 276 people coming from Australia. You see Louise Sauvage there as well, who's a coach. But it's interesting, culturally, one of the things that we saw in China, which China will be
there's
one of the
Kurt
biggest
Burnley,
teams.
our
Yeah, there you
champion
go.
wheelchair racer, who just disappeared off screen.
Some of these people are definitely heroes back home. You live in Australia, well, you'll see
absolutely.
some of these are some of your biggest sporting heroes, aren't they?
Absolutely. I'm just trying to keep an eye out for Kelly Cartwright. I'm sure she's going to pop up on our screen, but she's a track athlete, a sprinter as well as a long jumper, and she's got some pretty big expectations on her for these games as well.
Pretty dapper outfits for the Australians,
There's
bringing
Jason
that
Helwig,
green and gold
our
together.
Team head there. Yeah, that's right.
I have to say, Sydney was one of my favorite games that I competed in, and it was because of the Australian people that they just had so much fun, and that's where I think that the athletes are going to have a great time here in London, because the people here in London are so excited about the games. Austria in their red and white coming in. Maintaining the umbrella theme with the signs, the companies or the country's signs.
One of the athletes, I missed who it was, but he just went past on the screen and he had the country code AUT shaved into the side of his head. The only one I've seen so far. There might be more though.
I think you might be right.
The hairdresser at the Paralympic Village has been busy at work for them, no doubt.
I think you'll see a fair amount of tattoos as we go along as well. Temporary tattoos for the most part. The country's flags. But this is the excitement. This is the goosebump kind of thing for the athletes, that you feel it mounting, and especially the athletes that are coming in for the first time. It's amazing.
I guess it must be a time, it's such excitement, but you've really got to contain the nerves and the high and the buzz that this would give you, don't you? Because you've still got to focus on your competition.
It's one of the hardest things that you come to an event like this, and it's entirely different than any other event, but yet it's also the most important event that you want to do. So you want to be able to ride that crest of energy, that wave of energy that you get from the audience, but at the same time be able to focus it. And it's so funny how you train over and over again, and you teach your body what to do, but then your head wants to get involved.
Absolutely.
At this point, because it's so much more important seemingly, and everything feels different as a result. It can be a huge challenge, and this is what the athletes are working on. Bahrain actually has 4 athletes coming in, and you see that we do have a variety of different disabilities. You certainly will get that in a variety of on all of the teams.
Ahmed Mashima is the flag bearer for Bahrain.
One of the things I was always thinking as we came in was the first time that we got a chance to actually get on the track. They don't really look like they're on the track, but I remember coming into Atlanta thinking, oh, this track feels fast. This is good.
First chance. And does it get easier to contain the nerves and the excitement as you go? Because you've been to a number of games now, winter and summer games.
It's funny. I don't know that it gets any easier, because sometimes when you come in when you're young and you don't know anything, you don't know what to worry about.
Sure.
And so there's just the excitement of it, and you do what you need to do. Here's Belarus coming in. Those are some dapper outfits.
Wow.
Look at those shoes, huh? Those are good looking. But the thing is, yeah, sometimes it's easy without expectations, that you come in early on and you don't really have the expectations, whereas you progress, then you've got more expectations, and it can be a lot more of a challenge. So I think each time presents a different challenge for the athletes, and trying to manage it. Sometimes if you've had success early on, you can at least go back to that memory bank and say,
Sure.
okay, I know that I could do it then. So I know I can do it when the lights come on, which really is a big part of it. Bringing in the country colors in their outfit, which is really important. Belgium actually has 7 athletes coming in.
Yeah, so the reason, I guess, some of these teams look bigger than they actually are is because a number of officials are marching as well.
Exactly.
Getting into the spirit.
You will, and it looked like there was a guide dog that was accompanying as well, or
Yep, here's one. Oh, lovely.
proudly sporting the flag. That is one well-behaved dog, which is
so
exactly
calm.
what.
Can you imagine? I can't imagine my dog.
Well, I think
coping
that's
with
how
this.
they get that job.
Absolutely.
But you can certainly see the excitement.
Benin.
Actually, it's a contingent of 4, but there's 1 athlete marching, and he looks like he's pretty happy to be here.
So I guess, this has started reasonably late in the evening, so a number of athletes would have just said, look, I've got to compete tomorrow.
Oh, here we go. Here's the rest of the
here we go.
contingent. Okay, it is one of the questions that the athletes have to answer for themselves. If they're competing tomorrow, what are they going to do? And certainly Bermuda. I remember seeing Bermuda walk through in the Olympics in Salt Lake, and they were dressed exactly the same in Salt Lake as they are right now.
Oh, wow.
The Bermuda shorts, those travel. If you're from Bermuda, you're going to wear your Bermuda shorts.
Fantastic. Oh, it's great to see so many smiles. But just back to what we were talking about, because, for example,
Bosnia and Herzegovina.
the track cycling kicks off 9:30 tomorrow morning. You've
Right.
got to be ready to go. And if this doesn't wind up until, 11:30, 12 at night, you've got to get... Luckily, the Athletes Village is reasonably close. So
The athletes' village is really close, and the athletes' village is within walking distance for the athletes, which makes a huge difference, because you're not dealing with the logistics of getting on and off of buses, which can be a real challenge when you've got all the athletes, of 4,200 athletes leaving all at the same time, all wanting to get on the first bus to get home. So it's a real challenge. And one of the things that's interesting, we certainly talked about the idea of interrupting war in order to compete, and the idea of athletes or countries getting along. And you see Bosnia and Herzegovina that has been in the position of war, and a lot of these athletes will come from war, unfortunately, but it's also fortunate that there's a venue for them to compete. Brazil will be hosting the games in 2016.
Oh, there'd be so much excitement amongst that team. Not just for tonight, but knowing that you're the next host country. It's pretty special.
Oh, it really is. And you start seeing that ramp up as well, because there is a much bigger investment that comes from each country as they're going to be the host country. They want